Hello guys and welcome back to Earl Sports Bets. I'm Timothy Earl. Today we're going to be breaking down this 9-game NBA slate. We got 5 official bets for this one, so hopefully could be a good turnaround from yesterday. Yesterday was a disaster to say the least, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and look at today's slate and just go from there. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 400 by the end of the month. We are working close to that one. We are actually 26 subscribers away from doing that. So if you guys can go ahead and hit the subscribe button, 400 by the end of the month, we really do appreciate it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and look into today's NBA slate. We get to start off with the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Andre Drummond, Kevin Love, and Hunter and Nance are all out. Everybody else should be good for today's game. You get the Hawks minus 280 plus 235 for the Cavs. 7-point spread. Over-under of 227. For that, I'm going to go under. Cleveland is just a slow-paced team, so I don't think that they can up the tempo even with the Hawks to go over. And then in terms of betting this game, we're actually going to avoid this one. We have the Atlanta Hawks winning by 4.7, so if you were to grab a side, it would be Cleveland Cavaliers plus 7. But seeing that that's only a 2.3 value, we're not going to go and bet that. Just not going to be interested in it, and we're just going to move on from this game. We have 5 other games that we do have official bets on. Next up, we get the Detroit Pistons taking on the Orlando Magic. Minus 160 for the Magic, plus 140 for the Pistons. 3.5-point spread. Over-under of 209. Looking at the injuries for this one, Aaron Gordon and Deion Wright, Cole Anthony, and Blake Griffin are all out for this game. Looking at all the betting stuff, I am going to be taking the under for this one. I think this one's going to be also a low-scoring game. These two teams play at a crawling pace and normally don't score over 100 points, so I could feel pretty confident betting the under on this one. And then in terms of betting this one, we do like the Orlando Magic to win this game by 8.6 points, creates 5.1 points of value. It's one of our 5 bets of the day. It's bet 4 out of 5 in terms of value. So we do like the Orlando Magic to win this game against the Detroit Pistons. Next up, we get the Golden State Warriors taking on the New York Knicks. Steph Curry is questionable, so keep an eye on that one. Robinson out, and Wiseman is actually questionable now, so he no longer has the out. He is questionable with the wrist, but if he plays, that could really help. But looking at the betting stuff, over-under of 220, minus 150 for the Golden State Warriors, plus 130 for the Knicks. 3-point spread on this one. For this one, I'm going under again. I feel like these two teams are going to work at a slow pace again. Normally, they don't score that as many points as they're not the higher scoring teams in the league. So I do want to go under for this one again. And then in terms of betting this one, we are going to go ahead and bet the New York Knicks for this one. We do have them winning by 1.8 points. So on the spread, it's a 4.8 value bet, which is going to be our worst official bet of the day, but it's still a over 4.0 bet. And then grabbing the money line if you guys are interested at plus 130. That one is a 1.8 value, which whenever you can get say over 1.5 on plus money, I normally like to take that. So we're grabbing the New York Knicks against the Golden State Warriors. Next up, we get the Boston Celtics taking on the Dallas Mavericks. Clicked off. Trying to look for injuries. Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. Smart is still out. Maxi Kleber is questionable. Other than that, everybody else should be good to go. Minus 128 for the Celtics, plus 108 for the Mavericks. 1.5 point spread. Over under of 225. For the first time, I'm taking the over for this game. I feel like the offense on both these teams are going to be able to perform enough to score at least 113 each. And I'm going to go ahead and take the over on this one. Then looking at the betting, we do like the Dallas Mavericks as our best play of the day. At minus 1.5 points, we do have them winning by 7.5 points, which creates 6 value. So definitely taking the Boston Celtics over the Dallas Mavericks. Next up, we get the Sacramento Kings taking on the Brooklyn Nets, which the Brooklyn Nets actually just went through the entire Western Pacific League, which has the Lakers and the Clippers in it, and swept it. So they're looking very, very impressive. But looking into it, minus 250 for the Nets, plus 210 for the Kings, 6.5 point spread, over under of 242. I'm grabbing the over from this one. Both these teams are very, very offensive teams, and they don't really like playing as much defense. I don't want Kevin Durant out. Harrison Barnes is questionable. Other than that, everybody else should be good for this one. And then in terms of betting it, we are not going to. We have the Brooklyn Nets winning this game by 5 points, so we would end up grabbing the Kings plus 6.5. It would end up creating a 1.5 value, which is not good enough for us to want to bet it. Not enough on there. So if we were to take one team, it would be the Kings plus 6.5, but we are going to be staying away from this game. Next up, we get the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Toronto Raptors. I almost said Tampa Bay. They are playing in Tampa Bay, but Kyle Lowry questionable, Seth Curry questionable. Other than that, everybody else should be good for this game. Over under of 222. Give me the over. Raptors have been playing at a really high pace. I think they could elevate the 76ers to play there as well. 111 points apiece. I definitely think they can go over on this one. And then in terms of the betting numbers, minus 125 for the 76ers, plus 105 for the Raptors. 1.5 point spread on this one. And we do like the Philadelphia 76ers in this game. We have them winning by 6.9 points. Creates 5.4 points of value. Second best on the slate. So we are taking the Philadelphia 76ers to win this game. Next up, we get the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. Jrue Holiday still out for Milwaukee, and D'Angelo Russell is going to be out for a while with Minnesota. Other than that, everybody else will be starting. Over-under of 231. I'm grabbing the over. Milwaukee plays at a blazing pace. They are the second highest scoring team in the league behind the Nets. Minnesota has been working their tempo up a little bit too, so I wouldn't mind going the over the 231 on this one. Minus 650 for the Bucks, plus 500 for the Timberwolves. 10.5 point spread on this one. And we do have, and we're not going to be betting this one, but if we were, we have the Milwaukee Bucks winning this game by 9.9 points. So we would end up taking the Timberwolves plus 10.5. It's only a 0.6 value, so I'm not interested in betting this one. And I would rather save it for the other games that we are going to be betting on. 2 games left. We get to go to the 10 o'clock games. Portland Trailblazers taking on the Denver Nuggets. Lost that again. Keep hitting the depth charts. Don't want that. I want just the injuries. There we go. CJ McCollum still out. Yusuf Nurkic still out. Millsap and JaMychal Green and Gary Harris, PJ Dozier all still out. Other than that, all the other guys are starting. Minus 245 for the Nuggets, plus 205 for the Blazers. 6 point spread on this one. Over under of 231. Give me the over. Both these teams are very, very offensive teams. Although Denver plays good defense, I do see this one going over. In terms of betting this game, we are going to be going towards the Portland Trailblazers side. We do have the Denver Nuggets winning this game by 0.8 points, but It creates a 5.2 value for the Blazers side, and it's going to be our third best play of the day. So we're going to be taking the Portland Trail Blazers +6 against the Denver Nuggets. Final game of the day, we get the Washington Wizards taking on the LA Clippers. I keep hitting the same thing. Come on. Everybody looks good. Thomas Bryant, Ish Smith are going to be out. Other than that, everybody else should be good for this one. Over under 231.5. I'm going under. I just don't think this game's going to be competitive enough for it to go over. -900 for the Clippers, +640 for the Wizards, 12.5 point spread. Wizards actually just came off a win against the Lakers, so that was quite impressive. But for this one, we are not going to be betting it because we do have the Clippers winning this game by 12 points. So if we were to go, it would be the Washington Wizards +12.5. But it's only a 0.5 value worse on the slate, so we're not going to be interested in betting this one at all. But we would be interested in the under 231. That's going to do it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, make sure to like, subscribe if you're new. And hopefully we can turn this around and make some money. We want to thank you guys all for watching, and until next time, let's do it.